Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Maniacal S10 Shopping Garage. Hope everyone's doing good and staying safe and healthy. Okay, thanks to all my subscribers, followers, and my views. Thank you all so very much. It's heartfelt. Today, some info on my '08 Pontiac G6 GT 3.5. It has developed from what I've found so far, a timing cover coolant leak. I'm not going to get into all this today on this video, but enough to get you started doing this and hope this all works out without having to take the oil pan off, because the YouTube clips I've watched, the information I have surmised and researched on the internet, it is a major operation to get the oil pan off of this type of vehicle. A major one. And probably some of the others. I just see Pontiac, and I think there's a few Chevys out there with the 3.5, but maybe not with the same setup as the Pontiac. But the Pontiac of mine, the '08, for sure is a major operation. So when I do the timing cover, without disturbing the oil pan itself, I hope this works. If not, then I'm in for a major job to do this, all because of an antifreeze leak at the timing cover on the left side. If it was a rear-wheel drive, or as you look at it, still left side. Okay, so here's the information that I have. Let me get this turned around. Give me a sec. Okay, first of all, from what I have found out, this of course is the harmonic balancer and crank pulley. And for some of the clips I've watched on YouTube, it's once you undo the bolt, which is this one, it's a 14 millimeter by a 1.5. And if you can see this, I get it focused here. .9. So I looked up this bolt. You can purchase these bolts. It's a torque to yield. It's a one-time use. I have been seeing and hearing that guys have used the same bolt and with some luck, but I'm not going to risk it, because this bolt here gives way and it's a one-time use, and it's not highly recommended to reuse this bolt. Catastrophic disaster is on its way to happen. And this breaks, and if it breaks off, what it could do under the hood, and you got to pull the motor out, take the crank out, get that worked on, it's not worth it in my opinion. I'm not going to try it. And the balancer is supposed to be a pull off, push on by hand. Well, mine is not. It's a press off, press on. Now, some other information here. And I have found multiple answers to this. And just before I start this video, I looked up the item number. It's supposed to fit GM products. Now, as you see here, and I told you I have a 3.5. You don't see Chrysler Jeep Dodge 3.5. Don't doubt it fits that. But the GM application, but yet item number says it does fit GM, but it doesn't fit my Pontiac GM or GM Pontiac, however you want to look at that. Okay, now, I bought this, I'm going to take this back. It does not fit. Not enough room under the hood to do it either. But no, this does not fit, and I'm going to show you this. And you're going to need some spacers, because once you take this bolt out, you're going to need the spacers to go into the crank snout, onto the crank snout, to use a modified gear puller, which I'll show you here in a little bit. This is the way this is supposed to work. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. It's not going to fit down the groove or the slots and the balancers, you can see, and there's 3 of them, it don't go into the elongated slots to lock in. These grippers are supposed to fit in the slot, and you turn this to lock it, put tension on that bolt, and pull it off. Well, it doesn't work on my car at all. Not even remotely close, as you can see. It's not going to fit. Okay, now, and that is a, the 14 mil bolt there. Oh, by the way, this is 1 grade under aircraft steel. This is a tough bolt. You don't want to break it. And, excuse me, whatever spacers you would have to use to fill in, like so, to get to work. Here's the gear puller that I already had, and I modified it to get it to fit a bit better, to get this to pull off. And, give me a sec. A little bit of finesse. See how nice that fits? This is a 9/16. And you can pull it right off. Now, the breaker bar, of course, 1/2 inch set up. Then for the tighter clearance, and for this part here, the 9/16, you got the clearance, the long reach, or short reach 9, or tools you have, and a ratchet, and do your thing. But I would not use an impact, just in case. Now, something else here. I know it's been a while on the videos. This goes along with the puller you can rent at the auto store. Not that way, and it doesn't fit real good that way either. But it's what it is what it is. Now, okay. Everything don't start falling off here. Here's the tool I rented from the auto store. This is supposed to be, the fitting goes into the crank snout to put your tool setup together to pull this thing off. To press on, I'm sorry, to press it back on. And this is the 14 mil 1.5. Well, guess what? Give me a sec. Now look here, if I get this to work. 14.15, 14.15. Can you see the difference? Not going to work. None of these fits. This is the only one it does. Now, the old school GMs I've worked on in the back of the day, this is what we used. Big block, small block, and 2 different ends for it. Now, the smaller end goes into the crank snout about 1/4 inch. I'm uncomfortable with that. I want to go all the way to where it will, if not bottom out, give you plenty of thread to bite into and pull it out without pulling the threads off. So what I'm planning on doing, since I can't find the installer that's going to work, nor the gear puller, or harmonic bouncer puller, said modified and made my own, I'm going to clean this surface off and weld a smaller one to this like so, and I can make it work that way if it don't pull apart. As far as the weld breaks. So, a future video, I will show you this. Hopefully I don't forget to. And, whoops, hold on a minute. This is the rest of my setup I bought years ago at Cavalcade Custom in Cincinnati. Great show, by the way. And actually, size difference is a little bit. And with the clearance, that works out great right there. And then this goes in like so, without the spacers. And, well, hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Give me a minute. Because all this isn't going to be done today. This has been one time-consuming research and job. Okay. Now then. For this to go in the crank snout, so like so, and you could use this bolt to press on the balancer, say 1/4 inch, and then take this, whoops, put all this back, put all this together, one-handed, try to juggle this. Like so. And when I take that out, then I can wind up pressing all this back in together eventually. Because the washer will help to do that too. And then we've got it. That's how that would fit and work. Once I get those put together, then I will show you how this works. Okay, now you know for the most part how this is going. Give me a second. Apologize for the noise or the background noise. We're outside, of course, to the car. And I'm going to show you what you are going to be up against. I'm going to think the leak is up in here. I still got, of course, take all this off. And it's been something else. I miss the old school days doing this. There's a lot to do with this just to get that oil pan off, which I hope I don't have to. And I also took a pointed instrument that I have, and that seal still feels somewhat pliable. So when I take the cover off, timing cover, now the crank seal is still good, but I'm not going to reuse it. It's not leaking that bad, but it is a like drip. But the rest of this is from the antifreeze. Okay. I'm hoping with some silicone, pop this cover off, that I will be able to reseal that front part of the oil pan timing cover gasket, and I'll be good to go. If not, well, then I've got a long, not for the faint of heart, job of getting that oil pan to get it off to put it all back together. Timing cover on first, then the oil pan. So we'll see how this comes out. This has been one ordeal of a job so far. Doing the research and learning, knowing for sure this word, this person, that person. Research on top of research. Tool, this tool, that tool. Modify this, modify that. It has really been something. And if I got to get to that oil pan, oh boy, I dread it. Not for someone that doesn't really want to get into it, because it's going to cost a small fortune to get this fixed if I have to go that direction. I'm going to do all I can not to do that direction and show you all how I can do this. And hope it works for me this way. And if not, then you know you got to go the other direction. Hopefully this pans out for all of us. There's no shortcut to this, unfortunately. It'd be much overall easier if I would just take the hood off, pull the motor out, and do it. But I'm not going to do that. So, more research and digging into this, and I'll get it going. Hopefully, my way. So, research and development and see how this turns out. And keep in touch on my newest videos, which warmer weather, ever so often here in January. I can get these videos done and we can keep in touch. So on that note, peace out, stay safe, Keep your wrenches turned easy on the knuckles, and see you on the next video. How many videos in this? I'm not sure how many it's going to take to do this. So as I do it, I'll keep you updated. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great one. Bye.